Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to It's a Crime. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Linda, and today the verdict is in. We have only been doing this since yesterday, and here we are. Now, it's supposedly going to occur at 2 p.m. So it's 1:28 p.m. right now here and in Idaho. And I don't know about you, but I think I've received a few sparkles in my hair since this morning and yesterday because holy moly, it's like, oh, oh. So I've been refreshing Nate's Twitter every second of every minute. And so it's supposed to happen at 2 o'clock. Now, I'm just going to read a couple things that Nate said. He said, verdict in Chad Daybell case will be read at 2 p.m. Several police officers and other investigators are in the courtroom. Every single seat in the courtroom will be filled. And in the courtroom, Larry and Kay Woodcock, Heather and Matt Daybell, Ron Douglas, Samantha Gwilliam, and her husband Jason, Mike Douglas, who's Tammy's brother, and other family members. And so it's going to be, I can't believe this. I love that they have come to a decision, and let's hopefully have it the right decision in what we want. So we'll just see what's going to happen. We have 30 minutes. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this with me today. And yeah, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So in a half an hour, it will happen. Linda, I got to your channel with one of your first vids on the Doomsday case. Love, I can watch a verdict. I know this is so good that we get to see it. So I've been on edge all day and yesterday since we've been going. My heart's racing a little bit. This does happen when the verdict comes in. I know that happened with Lori, and it also happened with Gannon Stoke, our little buddy, when Letitia was sentenced to prison as well. I was sending you messages everywhere because I wanted to watch your. Thank you. I appreciate you guys giving me the heads up. And so we could all do this together. Now, I didn't even know if I need notes or what I need. I'm a little flustered, just trying to make sure I don't miss anything and then trying to do the 10-minute process of getting the live stream together. So if you're just joining, in a half an hour, there will be the verdict is in. So we'll just see what happens. I did do a poll earlier today on my channel to see what you guys thought about the death penalty and whatnot. As of right now, it was 2,300 votes, and 56% believe that Chad will be guilty on all counts with sentence to life, and 39% believe guilty on all counts with death penalty. 4% believed guilty on some, not all counts, and 0% not guilty. So those were my choices that I put up there. And so far, 2,300 votes. So we'll see where that gets to. Thank you so much, Beth, for the super sticker. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will see what happens. Now, what did you think about the closing arguments yesterday? I want to hear what you think. It was interesting. There was some interesting behavior by Chad Daybell. There was interesting behavior with John, of course. It was really fast. Now, how many hours would that have been? I think just a touch longer than Lori's, wouldn't it? But pretty close. And we get to hear what Judge Boyce will say. Fast verdict, not good for Chad. Well, maybe we won't till later with Judge Boyce. I can't remember. Gwen says, I knew it would be today when I got to pick up my girl from school. Well, I texted ex Mr. Linda and said, you're going to have to go pick up our boy. So he said, okay. Thank goodness. Thank you. Lisa says, I'm going to do a happy dance when verdict is announced. I'm so here for it to finally see Chad Daybell go down in history. And we have one more, though. We still have Lori to go on Charles. And I think, tell me what you think, but I think Chad might get in trouble for Charles as well and Brandon. Let's hope. And there's a couple cues that I think so. So glad we're doing this together. It's going to get pretty busy in here, I think, today. I appreciate that. Oh, one more thing. Some people are not getting the notifications. So if it's possible and you can share this with others, share it to wherever you can. I'd appreciate it because some people are still coming and commenting saying, Linda, you need to go live. And I am live. So if you could share that out, I would very much appreciate it. And then people can come in here and we could do this together. Oh my goodness. Hello, Algo. Nice to see you. So nice to see you. Yes, we have 26 more minutes. I'm so curious about this, how the reaction's going to be. Chad was animated yesterday. Whose channel do you think his kids are watching? We'll see what happens. It's been a while. Yeah, I was very close to, I just kept updating. And I just about went live with when Nate had their blah 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 blah. I can't even speak. I'm so flustered. This morning there was a question from the jurors about one of the instructions. So then it ended up being a closed thing before that, and then they asked the jury instructions, which was on the record. So, and then I didn't end up getting that. So glad to be doing this with you guys. I don't want to watch it by myself. I want to be with you guys. Okay, so you guys called it. You did say, a lot of you said Thursday. Today's Thursday, right? Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. The last question they had for Tammy, I think this is going to be a done deal too. I think. Samantha says, just got in time. Good. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm missing a bunch of hair. I love being here today. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Jury had a question, recount 6 at 10 a.m. Yes, thank you. It was a jury instruction, and that was brought up yesterday because I remember the number, and I think I wrote it down when Lindsay was talking. I believe. She was talking about jury instructions 42 or something like that. I feel like it was what she was breaking down and what John had to do with that. And then they asked about Tammy this morning. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to say 6 hours because they had closed proceeding for an hour. It was in around that, wasn't it? Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you for holding our hands through this. You're welcome. I need the hand holding too. Thank you. If guilty, then we have the penalty phase. Hi, Shelby. How are you feeling? Is anyone else as nervous as me? I've been with Linda since 2019 when this whole thing started. Isn't that crazy? I'm nervous too. And I've been pacing back and forth trying to get my scripting done for a video. It's like, how am I going to get this done? And I keep checking. Happy to be with you. I had brain surgery 3 days ago. Oh my goodness. We keep it chill. We got to keep it chill. I'm sending you some healing love. So we have about 20 minutes to go. I should do a banner here, and let's just see. We'll edit this. Who said they like me when I type? Okay. There we go. Welcome, everyone. We should have about 22 minutes to go. I know. Goosebumps everywhere. The jury had a question this morning, and now they have an answer. Wonder what that conversation would have been like. 5 hours and 54 minutes. That's how long it was. Jury deliberated for 5 hours and 54 minutes. So faster than Lori, which I called that one. Maybe I didn't. I kind of said Friday, but then I said I felt like Lori's was 7 hours and it would have been easier with Chad. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We are here. Verdict is in. We are waiting. My heart too. As you know, I probably sound a little bit rushed or a little bit fast in talking. Please take a moment if you can, give that little like button. It sends out little notifications to other people who might like to be here so we could all do this together. And if you can, share it into whatever platform you can. I would greatly appreciate it. And we can all do this together. And we'll see what happens. I know 5 hours and 54 minutes to deliberate. Mindy says, I was watching live with you the entire day on June 9th, 2020. Oh, I just got goosebumps all over my legs. Such a long time coming. Remember that? That was 4 years ago. Lindsay was awesome. I'm just going to double check this live stream, make sure everything is up. Yep, we're good. The minutes are slow, though. It feels like we should only have 10 minutes left, but we don't. We have 19 minutes to go. If they'll be on time. Pryor's closing was filled with false facts, unsubstantiated speculation, and no follow through of alternate theory. He was simply slinging mud. It revealed his lack of experience with criminal trials. That was yesterday. I couldn't believe what he was saying. And I kept going, how can he be allowed to say this? Thank you for being here, everyone. Lindsay did a great job. Loved her timeline, loved her laying it out. Couple minor things I would want her to say just to strengthen it, but she did a beautiful job. Yes, yesterday was the most emotion for Chad. Wait till today. Linda, it's so nice to watch the verdicts with you. You have been there for every step of the way. You're best detective I've ever seen. You're sweet. Thank you. Justice is going to come today, and then we're going to go for Charles and Brandon. Got tired of the you folks. Yeah, he's very condescending. He's, ugh. Missy says, I was impressed by Lindsay and embarrassed by Johnny. Oh, gee, here we finally made it to verdict day. There's no one I'd rather watch this with. Aw, we'll be here with you to the bittersweet end at sentencing. Yes, we're doing it all together. I'm so glad to do it with you guys. I truly am. I hope you guys can feel that because um, I love the community. My birthday is June 9th. All I want is guilty on all counts and Godspeed justice for JJ, Tylee, Tammy, and Charles. Well, happy birthday, even though we're just a little bit early, but happy early birthday. And I think there's going to be a little gift for everyone from today for justice and for the families. And I hope it's everything that's wanted and needed. Blake's closing arguments were concise and direct. She asked Pryor's points well in her rebuttal. Pryor started okay, but it ended a hot mess. It was crazy how he's starting to bring theories and stuff. And I thought, what the heck is he talking about? And then he's talking about the shovels and the dirt, and he didn't bring that up earlier, and he was bringing it yesterday. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching and following this case and being here. We've had quite the 2 months together watching this for 8 hours a day, some 5 hours, a little bit of breaks. That's very nice of him that he doesn't mind going for you. Yes, we help each other for the most part. Okay, let's just check in. Want to make sure everything's good. Lots of chatter among people in their seats, Nate says. John Pryor and Chad Daybell are not in the courtroom yet. And Lori Vallow Daybell's verdict was read at 1:03 p.m. on May 12th of 2023. And Chad Daybell's, obviously today at 2 p.m. on May 30th. Oh, the notification actually worked. There we go. I'm asking people to please share this video so others can come in and also hang out with us because some aren't getting notifications. They're telling me to meet me in here or to go live, and it's like I am live. Hi, Miss Linda. I think Chad was scared poopless. HP didn't know what to do, so spaghetti everywhere. JP. We got to move this too because my cat moved it. So let's bring it so we can see. Read that. Thank you. An early verdict is not good for the defendant. I thought 8 tonight. I'm okay with being wrong. I'm looking forward to hearing what Judge Boyce says to Chad Ding Dong Daybell. Bing bong. I have followed you and Nate Eaton from day one. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, Nate was awesome. I will never forget the moment I saw him walk up to Lori and Chad ever. Like, I remember going, who is this guy? It was amazing. It's like Christmas for justice. Absolutely. Thank you. Definitely not a fan of JP. Kudos. He was filling out a sinking ship with a big hole in it using a teaspoon. Thank you. Linda, thanks for all the company and humor on this sad, crazy case. Been around since day one. Just don't chat much. Praying for Larry and Kay. Yes, thank you. Thanks for being here and watching. So we have about 12 more minutes. And then, like, my heart, I don't know about yours, but mine's beating pretty high right now. And clearly I'm not doing anything other than just sitting. Jeanette says, Linda, I've been watching you since the video you did with Chris Watts. I couldn't wait for you to come on today. I wouldn't watch his verdict with anyone else. Thank you. I'm so happy to be doing this with you guys. There's a myriad of emotions. Imagine the family right now sitting in there just waiting. We had a little bit of scare a couple weeks ago with one of the there was a clerical error. Do you remember that? And we almost went, oh no, because it had to do with the charge with JJ and count 4, and there was a mistake on a date, but it ended up being a clerical error. But could you imagine if that they had to disregard that charge because of it? It would have been, oh my gosh, we all were freaking out. Then I went away for lunch. I came back and said, no, we're going to choose not to choose that route. It's going to be something else and we'll be okay. And then, whew, and here we are. Verdict is in. You're reading it correctly. Thank you. Mary Claire says, this is my Super Bowl. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Without you guys, there wouldn't be my channel. So you guys are just as important. And a big shout out to the prosecution. They've done an amazing job. I think they learned from Lori's and they knocked it out of the park. Let's use some baseball terminology like they like to do on Charles. So they knocked it out of the park. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. Does it feel like the minutes are like longer and longer? A lot of goosebumps are coming here. Please give a moment too if you can hit the like button and like button for justice today, as I think it's going to be served up hot. Let's hope. You guys need a little slowing of the chat. Okay, one sec. Let me get in there. Just to help out a little bit so it's not too crazy. I won't make it too slow though. Okay. Okay. Did I already show that? I wanted to say 6 because they had closed proceeding for an hour. I think I showed that already. Didn't I? Yep. Nice to see you again, Jen. Watching you on the phone and my big TV. That a girl. Thank goodness we don't have to hear another patriarchal blessing. Yeah, years and years of deep dives and finally stage 2. All the deep dives. The timelines, the coded messages and the emails, the theories, deep dives, all of that. Imagine too, like, the moment for law enforcement to sit there and listen to what that verdict is sweet justice. And the family, of course, but also the people around who are forever changed, the jury that's forever changed, having to see all the handiwork of Chad. Yeah, she did such a good job. The poll is on the community tab. If you guys want that, let me just, how do I do this? Here's the community tab if you want to take part in the poll. Seven minutes. I know, it's so long. Now, if you haven't seen my videos and you're still going to be curious after the verdict is in, I have over 250 on the case. And I have a Charles Vallow series, a Brandon Boudreau series. I am thinking that Chad might have to go to Arizona. What do you think? We have been watching blank silent screens all morning. Oh wow. Just found this channel yesterday. Well, welcome, Lisa. I do have a lot of videos in this case, a lot of deep dives, timelines. So if you're interested, take a look at that, and lots to dive into, let's just say. Yeah, I don't want to do this either all by myself. I'd rather do it with you guys for sure. Yes, we'll do this. There we go. I have it queued up. Are you guys nervous? Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks for the super sticker. There's little justice too for the members. If you look, there's a little justice emoji we can start peppering. Linda, thank you for the wonderful work you do. I'll miss our daily chats when this is over. Well, I'm going to keep streaming. We'll do sentencing and I'll keep coming on. We'll try for every week. At least we can catch up that way and keep that community going and that feel, the good feelings. Thanks again for the fabulous coverage over the past few years. Prayers for the numerous victims. Thank you. Thank you, KH. Thanks for being here. And Bella, thanks for the super sticker. Just want to say thank you. You were my intro to the YouTube years ago. Wow. And enjoyed it. Yeah, Christine, I recognize you. Thank you. Thank you for the long hours and justice for all. Let's roll. Let's get into it. This is bittersweet, isn't it? But please, 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 please be all accounts. Oh, I got to make sure my computer is plugged in. We do not want anything to happen. Okay, that's plugged in. There we go. We have lots to go on still. I'm still here. It's just weird this morning not to get on. And yesterday, well, yesterday I did, and I talked for an hour and a half. We have 3 minutes. People from all over the world hanging out, 4,000 of us hanging out. If you do have a moment, just to click that like button. I know a little bit, if you're on the phone's a pain in the bum, but if you could do that for me, I would very much appreciate it. We'll give a little bit likes, a lot of likes for justice. And I'm going to get in here to myself, and I am going to put some justice emojis in here so that we can give good juju. And we're going to rate this light. Let's do that. There we go. Justice. And we're going to bring a little spice. And the 144,000 club, right? Yeah, this is good. I'm going to give the cupcakes to that where the kids, because you know what? That was a long time. Lots of hearts. Beautiful. Thank you. And if you can share this out, this stream out, so other people, because they're not getting the notifications, which is frustrating. And thank you, Jean. Thank you. Gifted five memberships to people. Thank you. You guys are so kind. Thank you for the super sticker, Kevin. Thanks for being here, everyone. Linda says, I've been following the case with you since the beginning, 2020. Thanks for all your hard work from South Africa. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. The poll I have on my community tab, I'll put it right here. Day one. Turning up is pain to a level. I'm gonna change that 144,000 times that on behalf of the raccoon. Well, we need a little bit of, right before we start, let's do a little bit of a look back for a laugh, just to get our nerves calmed down. And we'll talk about the raccoon here. Where's my picture? Because we know it's going to be a little bit. There we go. Might not be wearing their red ties today, though. I think he was in yellow, wasn't he? But yesterday was murderous red ties. Have a little laugh before it starts. Thank you for being here. 250 or whatever it is videos later, and fighting for justice, all of us fighting for the truth. And here we are. Yeah, my stomach is now, it's growling, which is weird. I know, it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? He's wearing yellow. Just found this. Wow, welcome. You guys are in for a 250 video treat. There is lots of stuff on there. What's interesting though is check out the his preliminary video I did is called Duping Delight, and it shows Chad's little behavior, and we witnessed a little bit of that. We should be any minute now, any minute. JP will kick Emma out tonight. We'll see. Thank you. Lee says, thank you so much for being a voice for the victims that are often forgotten by the mainstream media. Greetings from Romania. Thank you. Always want to see these cases to the end. It bothers me not to know what happened, and I want to see justice, and whoever is responsible for what they do to these poor victims, I want to see it to the end. I don't find it right not to. Brenda, I wouldn't have watched this trial with anyone else but you. Thank you for being here. Finally, Lifetime with his loin fire and Bubba in cell next door, Poppy. You've had some great comments. Best podcast when it comes to true crime watchers. Thank you, Bella. Welcome aboard. Hungry for justice, absolutely, all the time. Did you hear Chad mention his neighbor when he was reassuring LD about their mission? Was that a confession? Which part, Chrissy? Which part? I'm curious about that. Okay, they're 2 minutes late. Usually they're about 5 though, right? So let's just double check, make sure everything's okay. Okay, Chad Daybell just walked in. He's wearing a blue checkered dress shirt with a yellow tie. Prior's whispering to him. Attorneys are walking back in the courtroom. The room is packed. 67 state witnesses, 11 defense witnesses, 6 rebuttal witnesses, 8 weeks of testimony, 12 jurors, 6 hours of deliberations, and we are here minutes away from the verdict being announced. I love Nate Eaton. Here we go. Okay, you guys. Who's nervous? Thank you. Thanks for the super sticker. Thank you. As the spaghetti slides down the wall slowly. Love you, Linda. Love you too, Dust Radio. Thank you. Here we go. Wonder if Chad's going to have an accident in his pants.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, I apologize. It'll take me a moment here to get logged on and then we'll get started.
Now we can see Chad pretty good. My nerves are racked right now. How are you guys doing?
Okay, we're on the record on case CR 22-21-1623, State of Idaho versus Chad Guy Daybell. The court's been advised that the jury has reached a verdict. The court will note the parties are present. The state's present with Mr. Wood, Ms. Blake, Mr. Wixom, and Ms. Beatty. Mr. Pryor's here representing the defendant, Mr. Daybell. And the court at this time is going to instruct the jurors to please be brought into the courtroom. That will include our alternate jurors as well to be seated. And then I will have the marshal get the verdict form from the jury once they return to the courtroom. So if they can come in at this time, we'll have them brought in.
All right, please. Here's our president counter for you, Honor.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, the court's going to next just make a reference that there is a courtroom conduct order in effect in this proceeding to remain in effect. So I appreciate everyone complying with that order, as most of you have done throughout the proceedings in this case. At this time, then, the first matter I'd like to take up is to do a roll call of the jury for the record. So, Madam Clerk, if you could please conduct a roll call of our jury to make sure they're all present and properly seated at this time.
Juror number 1, red card number 27. Juror number 2, red card number 219. Juror number 4, red card number 631. Juror number 5, red card number 653. Juror number 7, red card number 752. Juror number 8, red card 1680. Juror number 9, red card number 823.
Here.
Juror number 10, red card 1358.
Present.
Juror number 11, red card 1365. Juror number 12, red card 716. Juror number 14, red card 997.
Present.
And juror number 15, red card 1078.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for conducting the roll call. All right, at this time, I'm next going to inquire from the jury foreperson. Has the jury reached a verdict? All right, thank you. Mr. Bailiff, if you would please retrieve the verdict from the jury foreperson. Thank you. All right, the court has reviewed the verdict form. I'll note that all counts have been properly marked, as well as the verdict form's been properly dated and signed by the foreperson. The next step then is Mr. Daybell, if you and counsel would please rise. I'm going to have the clerk read the verdict.
In the District Court of the 7th Judicial District of the State of Idaho in and for the County of Fremont. State of Idaho plaintiff versus Chad Guy Daybell defendant, case number CR 22211623. Verdict. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn to try the above entitled action for our verdict, unanimously answer the questions submitted to us as follows. Question number 1. In regards to count 1 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Tylee Ryan and grand theft by deception? Guilty. Question number 2. In regards to count 2 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Tylee Ryan? Guilty. Question number 3. In regards to count 3 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Joshua Jackson Vallow and grand theft by deception? Guilty. Question number 4. In regards to count 4 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Joshua Jackson Vallow? Guilty. Question number 5. In regards to count 5 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Tamara Tammy Daybell? Guilty. Question number 6. In regards to count 6 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Tamara Tammy Daybell? Guilty. Question number 7. In regards to count 7 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of insurance fraud? Guilty. Question number 8. In regards to count 8 of the amended indictment, in regards to count 9 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of insurance fraud? Guilty. Dated this 30th day of May, 2024, and signed by the presiding juror.
All right, Madam Clerk, thank you for reading the verdict. At this time, I'm just going to collectively ask the jurors, all of you, is this in fact your unanimous verdict on each of those counts? Very well. At this time, I'm going to inquire if the parties wish to have the jury polled. Does the state wish to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Does the defense, Mr. Pryor, wish to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very well, then. I'm going to direct the clerk to record the verdict. At this time, then, this does conclude the guilt phase of this trial. Because the defendant has been convicted on counts of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, the state has filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty, and so a second phase of this trial, called the sentencing phase, will be taking place next. We're going to take a recess at this time for approximately an hour. We will come back on the record and begin with the start of that sentencing phase of the trial. I would like to remind everyone that this courtroom conduct order is still in application throughout these proceedings. Thank you all for complying with that. We are going to take that recess at this time. Mr. Daybell is to remain in custody at this time for the commencement of the sentencing phase. And with that, thank you all, and we will be in recess.
All right, please.
I am shaking like a leaf. I don't know about you guys. Like, guilty on all counts. Hang on, I just want to watch for a minute. Okay. So, guilty on all charges. Everything for Tylee, everything for JJ, everything for Tammy, and insurance fraud. All 9 counts, he's found guilty. How are them apples or baseballs, Chad Daybell? Wow. Now, hang on though, because you got to help me out because I gapped out at the very end there. They're taking a break for an hour. And then what? Did they say they're coming back? Justice is served. It's nice to see you, Colby. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. All charges. Whew. Yeah, not smiling today. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. Right down to the insurance. So now we go into the sentencing phase. And I've never covered a death penalty case. This is all new to me because even 4.5 years that I've been doing it, I just started doing the trials that I covered last year. That's how long it took. Chad had a lot of motion yesterday, not so much today. Wonder if he thought he was gonna, there was even a possibility. Justice has been served. Thank you for this laugh. Chad's underpants just went from light to dark. Probably the highlight comment to make us laugh. Thank you. Okay, we start penalty sensitive phase in 1 hour. Okay. So now, do we have the lowdown on that? I know Nate will probably talk about that. That's amazing. Take an hour recess and then the sentencing phase of the trial will begin. I'll be live outside shortly. Okay. It's all happening. He's gonna get, I think, what do you think? Yes or no? Go heck yes or heck no for Charles. I think he's gonna move on for Charles. Just based on there's that one sealed motion that happened. Oh, whew. Okay. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Yes, for sentencing phase. Thank you for covering the trial so well, making it bearable for all of us. You too, Victoria. You've been giving some pretty good comments out there. Thanks for the laughs too. I'm literally sobbing, sweet justice. You know, it's like a roller coaster, up and down, watching this, all this information, and what they presented in court for 2 months was only just this much of how much actually went on. And I think that Chad Daybell has done this before. So now how many, hang on guys, when was that? About 209? 210? So are they coming back, what, 310 maybe? Um, 3:10 p.m. I think. We are in it together. Put that back. They did a fine job of not reacting. I punched my couch. Now imagine, okay? Chad's not going to be comfy in his little jail cell anymore. He's going to prison. Think about that for a moment. And then people know who he is. I guess this is his second phase of his life, isn't it? He got one thing right. This is crazy. So we're all lumping it together, I guess, aren't we? I thought so too. I wasn't too sure about this. I think so too. I have a feeling that Chad, I've said this earlier. I think he's going to get the death penalty. I don't know why I think that. Well, I mean, but I have a feeling that he's going to get it. Victim impact statements. Do we know who's going to be doing those? Nate is in court. I believe, yeah. He's says taking an hour recess and then sentencing phase. That's crazy. Thank you, Pam, for the super sticker. And Jen, if I haven't put that up already, thank you. Victim impact statements. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Justice for 3 lives who were stolen. Yes. Never get to grow up. Never get to get older. Never get to get married. Never get to have children. Never get to do anything. And Chad had to take that away. And then the ripple effect that it affects everyone else. Inner circle, wider circle, law enforcement, the world watching as these 2 Lepidiots walk around Hawaii with missing children. Nowhere to be found, and them not given a 2 you know what's. He and Lori can get matching prison tattoos. Yeah, I'll show you which prison tattoo I think he should get. I'll do it in an emoji. These ones. Right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm glad they saw right through his crap and right through John's crap too. Yeah, go put on your jail clothes, buddy. Not buddy. That means we're going to hear Judge Boyce too, aren't we? He is a serial killer. Feel awful for Nate Eaton, has been in the courtroom for months and hop a plane at 5 p.m. when they're doing victim impacts and sentencing. Well, yeah, is his flight at 5 or he has to be there at 5? Yeah, and Tammy, yeah, all of them. Maybe we could rewind a little bit and watch chat again. Do you guys want me to rewind a bit and see that again on the counts? I could do that while we're waiting. Yes? Okay. Let's rewind. It wasn't too long anyways, so we won't miss anything.
Question number 7.
Mr. Daybell, if you and counsel would please rise, I'm going to have the clerk read the verdict.
In the District Court of the 7th Judicial District of the State of Idaho and in for the County of Fremont. State of Idaho plaintiff versus Chad Guy Daybell defendant, case number CR 22211623. Verdict. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn to try the above entitled action for our verdict, unanimously answer the questions submitted to us as follows. Question number 1. In regards to count 1 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Tylee Ryan and grand theft by deception? Guilty. Question number 2. In regards to count 2 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Tylee Ryan? Guilty. Question number 3, in regards to count 3 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Joshua Jackson Vallow and grand theft by deception? Guilty. Question number 4, in regards to count 4 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Joshua Jackson Vallow? Guilty. Question number 5, in regards to count 5 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Tamara Tammy Daybell? Guilty. Question number 6, in regards to count 6 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Tamara Tammy Daybell? Guilty. Question number 7, in regards to count 7 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of insurance fraud? Guilty. Question number 8, in regards to count 8 of the amended indictment, in regards to count 9 of the amended indictment, is Chad Guy Daybell not guilty or guilty of insurance fraud? Guilty. Dated this 30th day of May, 2024, and signed by the presiding juror.
All right, Madam Clerk, thank you for reading the verdict. At this time, I'm just going to collectively ask the jurors, all of you, is this in fact your unanimous verdict on each of those counts? Very well. At this time, I'm going to inquire if the parties wish to have the jury polled. Does the state wish to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Does the defense, Mr. Pryor, wish to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Very well, then. I'm going to direct the clerk to record the verdict. At this time, then, this does conclude the guilt phase of this trial. Because the defendant has been convicted on counts of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, the state has filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty, and so a second phase of this trial, called the sentencing phase, will be taking place next. We're going to take a recess at this time for approximately an hour. We will come back on the record and begin with the start of that sentencing phase of the trial. I would like to remind everyone that this courtroom conduct order is still in application throughout these proceedings. Thank you all for complying with that. We are going to take that recess at this time. Mr. Daybell is to remain in custody at this time for the commencement of the sentencing phase. And with that, thank you all, and we will be in recess.
All right, please.
Okay, so let me just fast forward now to where we're at, make sure it's all good. Okay. So now in about 40 minutes or so, we'll be back. Well, they'll be back. I'm still going to be here. And we'll go to the next phase. Now, it's interesting because I was watching as close as possible to see his reaction. He was swaying a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit when they was reading Tylee. You couldn't really see his face much, but I could see him swaying a little bit. And then when they read JJ, his I'll see if I can duplicate it. He kind of went like that. Just a little bit. So the first one, you just kind of see him sway a bit. And then by the time they got to number 3 with JJ, when he read it, it just kind of went like this, like, I can't believe it kind of thing. And then after that, it was nothing. You're so welcome. Thank you. Saw some lapidity in JP's face when the verdict was being read. I think he was stroking out. Well, yesterday when I was reviewing the closing arguments, I saw John getting so uncomfortable when they were talking about loin fire. He was tapping and moving and touching his head and all kinds of things. Gary says no firing squad slowed with paintball guns. Chad Daybell. We couldn't zoom on his face, unfortunately, but I tried to look as close as possible as what was happening. He had more emotion yesterday than today. What's Chad's death percentage today? 100% chance of rain. What is it? What's the kids' movie? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Oh, we're going to have to share the love a minute here. Let's just share the love. Here we go. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, Chad. You know, we just have to have a little bit of humor. Yes, his hand was clenched pretty hard, wasn't it? He's grabbing on. I'm sure his loin fire will keep him warm in prison. Nate just said he thinks Lori's trial will be pushed to next year. I bet you Chad's going to be up for Charles's. When did his verdict actually come down? At 2:09 they started it. So was it 2? No. Yeah. Time is really slow right now. It's really weird. Something wrong with my eye. Yes, justice was served. Oh, and we're going to be getting a new mugshot from him. Wonder if he'll have his dupers. Lots of crying and sniffles from family and officers. Absolutely. They wait 4.5 years. Imagine even Detective Hermosillo talking about hand digging, and taking turns to get to Tylee and JJ. All because some idiot decided to kill the children, and put them, idiots, plural, in the yard and kill Tammy. What do you think Emma and Garth, I guess they're going to have to go pick up a new pair of pants, as those were on fire. What do you think they're going to think today? Oh no, it was Lori? I don't think so. Which outfit, raccoon suit, stripe, or orange tomato? It was black and white stripe or orange tomato. Either way, it would be suitable. The raccoon one or the orange tomato one? I have, yep, I'll give you the link to that. The poll is right there. I gave it. The raccoon was exonerated. Chad probably last night was like, I'm going to sit in my portal and I am going to summon Lori. Hey, Lolo, Cholo. Dear sweet Lola, as he called her in one of the. I'm going to hell tomorrow, and I'm just wondering if we can be exalted and we can meet somewhere so you could do your dirty dancing and I can give you the spicy texts and we can loin fire it together before what happens tomorrow when I go to hell. The end. And Lori's like, sorry, Chad. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to watch this with you guys too. And my little soliloquies that I go off. I'm sure you guys are entertained sometimes and maybe sometimes not. Yeah, one vision did come true. He's not coming back. Yeah, I'm not coming back. Cloudy with a chance of dumb balls. Like last night I was talking one of the members' live streams, we were talking about the movie Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy when she was looking for the captain's balls. It's like, I can't find them. You know, they're like this, but like half of that and then half of that again. And then she grabs the Tic Tacs, found them. Yep, 100,000% agree. Those are gonna hit hard. The victim impact statements. Honey, that fire done went out. Honey. 3:15. So we have about, man, do you find that time's going slow? Because we're waiting, because usually we can go through this no problem, but man. Bing bong, Daybell gone. Yeah, I agree. The jury probably went in. This is a no-brainer. Let's take a vote now. Let's do this. Let's go over everything, double check, and call it a day. Okay, still watching here. I'm double checking. Let's make sure that everything's lined up okay. Can't wait to hear what the judge says. Chad's kids was not in court. We're not in court. It's crazy how this guy has shown zero emotion this entire time. The only time he showed emotion, Mike, was yesterday. He was animated yesterday in closing arguments. That was the only time. Oh, and he laughed a little bit. There was something like actually going on in the courtroom that he laughed, but it wasn't like a maniacal laugh like as usual. So let's just look here one sec. I'm going to get you, I had this information before, but let's just find it. I put it in my videos before, but since we're waiting, might as well learn some things too, right? So Idaho's death penalty was established in 1864, and it was it says about 26 years before the territory became a state. Since that time, 29 executions have been carried out, according to the Death Penalty Information Center, including the state's last hanging in 1957. Executions became rare in the following decades. Now, I think there's one woman in it in Idaho, and the rest are men. I feel like there's 18, but let me just check. And not too long ago, Idaho had to halt the first lethal injection, it says, in 12 years because there was a failure to establish IV lines. So there was a guy that was supposed to be executed on February 28th, and that was stopped after the Idaho Department of Correction execution team was unable to set an intravenous line after an hour of repeated attempts. Mr. Creech remained strapped to the gurney and conscious while unsuccessful attempts were made to access veins in both arms and legs. Officials did not disclose why the execution team was unable to establish an IV line, but the training and qualifications of staff, as well as the accessibility and quality of Mr. Creech's veins, could have been factors. I remember that. And I think what happens too is you have that order, and then the order is basically expired because he didn't die. And that's my understanding. So they had, since 1976, there was one execution in 2011 in Idaho and one in 2012. Oh, thanks, Kellyanne. Yeah. Thank you. Years and years, hey? Justice was served. Yeah. Welcome aboard to those new members. Thank you. Portal Potty is now closed. With your BS. That's right. Goodbye, Chad Dumbbell. Okay, so we have another half an hour. And we got to see the rest go through. We're going to keep going. Barb says, my crush Hermosillo. Yep. And for what? Where are we at? This storm is so dry. I love you guys. Lola, hello? I have to do that. It's like, goodness, Linda, the mental images. Well, when I start get going, I start bringing the microphone out. I have something to say. Hello, sweet Lola. Sorry for the poop in the portal. Raccoons are all around the world celebrating right now. Thank you for liking the video, everyone in the live stream. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I think everybody's from around the world. Let me know where you're from. That'd be kind of cool to see who's watching. There was earlier 4,800 of us hanging out in here. Right now we have about 2,800. And imagine that in a room. Imagine how many of us in a room. That'd be one big party, wouldn't it? We would be cheersing to justice. I do not have champagne. I have some rhubarb gin, and I have some port, and maybe some wine, I think. Unopened wine. Guilty on all counts. I would love to be a fly on the wall when Lori finds out how much he threw her under the bus, seeing she wouldn't let her lawyers talk about him. Hi, are they searching me? They're searching the house? The yard. Oh, what can I do for you? What? What can I do for you? Go on another plane, Lori. Another terrestrial or celestial or celestial, or whatever you call it. Beat it. Leave it. Leave. Chad is visually a zombie today. It's all over but the binging. Chad won't have to worry about leaving his body while in prison, but he will have to worry about someone entering it. Chad is gonna be okay. Okay, jokes aside for a minute. Jokes aside for a minute. When they find out who's coming to prison and they find out what he's done, 2 women, Tylee's on the cusp of womanhood, she's a teenager, 2 women and a child. What do you think's going to happen to him? And let's just face it, I don't think Chad can defend himself. So there's that. The raccoon really doesn't know how famous he is. Will the storm put out the loin fire? If you guys have not seen my loin fire video, it did take me 2 weeks to even compose myself to record it. And I did put some especially good snark, I think, in it. So I am going to give you the link to the snark, to the video. Because if you haven't seen it, I know there's quite a few of you who haven't even seen my channel or just popping in, or you've seen it, but you have perhaps not seen the loin fire. It is gross. However, I think the humor in it makes up for the grossness, possibly. So I did put my commentary in that. And I was extra spicy in it. So let's just give that out. Here you go. Little something to peruse today. Oh, I love you guys. I bet in the future Emma and Joe will be in the news for starting an anti-government prepper extremist group. They're going to be something. Man, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. Thank you. Such a beautiful chat. I love you guys. Chad Daybell's a serial killer. Justice is served 100%. Thank you. Thanks, and a Choden Hori shallow dumbbell are guilty. Oh, the many, many words. You know, so many different names we use for Chad and Lori. It all started with them. They started it. Raphael and Lily, James and Elena, which I did joke about being the sister or the brother uncle. I think in this spicy text. Yeah, it was this spicy text. I called him a brother uncle. You guys got to watch it. I bet in the future. Okay, I read that. Thank you. Cupboard under stairs is shut tighter than but will be. Yeah. He wanted to be like the Dudleys, but was Dursleys, but he said Dudleys under the stairs. Okay, we're getting close. Australia. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Dublin, Ireland. So awesome. I'd love to check out Ireland. Maybe I need to go on tour. Different countries. Yeah, will Emma be putting $30 a week in commissary for daddy? Well, it'll be $60, 30 for Lori, 30 for daddy. He does. I can't wait to hear your next decoding. Well, you know how much I love to decode. I had a meeting on it today. We'll see. I need more to decode, maybe. Bring me as much as possible. Well, we did get to 144,000 first, didn't we? He is a serial killer. And I think there were others. Awesome. That's how you know you watched it already. You thumbs up. You gave it a thumbs up. Thanks, Barb. I have so much more to go. Do you guys want a video about the zombie term? Now, when I read the comments, I got to know what this is about. So, yes, zombie, or nah, let me know. Because I do have one in, I feel like, almost ready. This is crazy. It is. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Wondering if Lori knows the verdict already. Imagine when she's like, Chad's a liar. He said everything was going to be fine. Should be starting pretty quick. Maybe in the next 15 minutes. Orlando, watching from Canada, Gilbert, Arizona, Nashville. Look at that. Iceland. Wow. New Zealand. This is amazing. Chicago. I hear there's really good food in Chicago. Tempe, Arizona, North Oregon coast. The Oregon coast is amazing to drive. And I'm in Alberta. In Alberta, Canada. Pennsylvania. UK. Frisco, Texas. Italy. Whereabouts is that? I gotta look that up. Oh, before the boot. Near west of Venice. That's cool. I'm from Italy. My mom's from Italy. My dad's from Malta. Pryor has his House of Horrors. Ooh, there's some things I still need to work out from this trial in videos. If you guys are okay with that, because there's still some things that I need to work out. I don't want him to get death. Lori will just think he's a martyr and it will just be years of appeals. Send him to prison for life and let him suffer in there. I hope he does if he's able to suffer, because I don't know. What's his name? Chris Watts. He likes being in prison. He was enjoying the food. He enjoys it. And since we know Chad doesn't do anything all day, even before, he's probably never had to work a day in his life, really. 3:15. So we have 15 more minutes, and then we're gonna go into the sentencing phase. Oh yeah, we got a good Koberger. There's so much to do. I feel good. Linda's taking it to the streets. Okay, you guys want to see the zombie video? Okay. 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 Okay, cool. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I live just a few miles from the Idaho State Prison. Along this, also the song "Riders on the Storm" by The Doors have forever been ruined for me. Okay, now I gotta look that up on the. Can't play it on here, but but "Riders on the Storm." Oh, so many things have wrecked it. Like when there's a storm coming here too, I have to. No, nobody wants to say it anymore. Thank you, Zane. No zombie. Yes, yes, yes. No. I think I saw one no. Okay, you guys are great. Yeah, remember the Cranberries song? Yeah. Do you guys have any, like, a favorite for those of you who have watched my videos? Do you have a favorite on this case? Of what I did, like the video that I've done, if there's one that you really find yourself going back to, or Yeah. Oh, is there anything I can do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I had this girl growing up in junior high and high school, and she would talk like this, just normal. But when the boys came by, her voice would go up like Lori's and go, "Hi, Robbie. Hi." And then she would turn around and talk like this to us. But as soon as he would come around and be like, "Hi, Robbie." And then you can just smell, like, remember Body Shop peach perfume? I think you guys have the body shop down in the States, don't you? And it was like you could smell her from all the way down the hall in school. And that's all you smelled. And then she sat in front of me and she would go like this with her hair and like this all over my desk behind me. And I just have blonde hair all over the place. Disneyland. I would like to go there in fall with my little boy. It's a cajillion dollars for the tickets there for Canadians, but I might have a way in. So we'll see. Sending you guys love too. Look at that. Oklahoma, Seattle, Key West, everywhere. LA, Dallas, Cincinnati. Okay. Scotland, Denmark. This is amazing. Vancouver Island. I can't wait to hear what Judge Boyce has to say. Okay, we're getting closer. We have like 12 minutes. Utah, Tennessee, Washington. This is amazing. Michigan, Israel, Maldives. I want to go there. Thank you, Kimberly. I know. I'm not going to be the same when I can't spend my days with the family here. What can we watch to chat daily? Well, we have other cases to do. And since I'm not live streaming every day, I'll be diving into these cases. And then we can have a chit chat live every week. And maybe we could come together and chit chat about it. Because I can't just not be here. Yeah, isn't that cool? From all over the world. I love that. Alabama, Denmark, I love it. South Africa, Mount Shasta, North Carolina, Kentucky. This is great. I'm not sure what you mean, Tracy. Something's not showing for you. Atlanta. I've been to Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. And drove to Florida from there. It was beautiful. Alabama's beautiful. Really cool trees. Virginia, Ontario. I got to do a mug on that. Okay, now I'm going to say this right. Salina, Kansas, right? Not Salina, it's Salina, right? I think that's where what's her pickle? Letitia was driving. And I learned it was Salina. I'm pretty sure. Do I think he will talk like Lori did? I think if he was riled up like yesterday, he would have. I don't know about today. But yesterday he was riled up. I think he would have yesterday if that was the day. I don't know. Do you think he's going to talk? You guys let me know. I will watch videos on this for the rest of time. I promise I'll make it interesting. Awesome, UK. Okay, where are we at? 8 minutes. Have you ever been to Italy and Malta? Yes, I have. Yes. I've been to Malta and Italy in 2008. And I would love to go back again. It was beautiful. I loved it. I thought I looked Italian, more Italian at first when I went to Italy. And then I went to Malta. I was like, no, I look more Maltese than I do Italian. Corey Richens trial. We have her. Yep. Okay, now my chat's doing something weird. Hang on. Justice was served for Tylee, JJ, and Tammy. It certainly was. Now we'll see what happens with the sentencing. Timeline video, code video. The creepy video. 10 creepy for the animations. Secret combinations. Timeline. I think I need to do a couple more timelines on other ones, don't I? On other videos. The secret code video is my favorite. Awesome. I love the decoding videos. I need to do more of those, I think. The baby talk fakery, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do an updated video, Becky, of that. What do you think? Do an updated video. Where are we at? 6 more minutes. I just did my hair flip. What are you talking about? What's going on? Come to Boston? That would be fun. Maui, Montreal, Alabama. So many places. I love it. Long Island, Big Sky, Montana. That's not too far. Secret Society, that, yeah. Remember when I did that? Whew, the Secret Society video, and I was laying it all down. I kept saying, this is what they're doing. This is the code. This is this is that. That was a big one because then you start to really see the little secrets they were doing. Hungry. Charles, will I cover Charles' trial? Absolutely, every minute of it. Absolutely. We're going to fight for Charles. Are they coming on already? Ooh.
All right, thank you. Please be seated. All right, once the jurors are ready to be brought in, they can enter the courtroom, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
I wonder what the convo was like with Chad and John right after. What's he looking at in his papers? His fate? He's probably just worried about him not seeing Lori. Oh, I can't see Lori ever again. It's just gonna be in my portal potty and that's it. Is that a statement? I don't know. Maybe it is. Do you think he's gonna say something? I think if he's riled up enough, he would, but I don't know if he would just choose to say something. But his chins can't get any higher. Well, maybe he got a piece of paper out and was like, how to play the ukulele 101, chapter 1, page 1. Lori spoke, she did, so we'll see. Hopefully it won't be a patriarchal 45-minute blessing. I am curious what they're thinking right now, though. I hope we don't get the 2 hour.
All right, please.
Here we go. Let's get into it.
Here's our President Counter for you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are back on the record on case CR 2221-1623, State of Idaho versus Chad Guy Daybell. The court notes that earlier this afternoon, the jury returned a verdict of guilty on several counts that are subject to this capital sentencing phase, including in the verdict form counts 1, count 2, count 3, count 4, count 5, and count 6 of the amended indictment. The court at this time then is going to commence with the capital sentencing phase. I'll note that in this case, the jurors have returned, including the juror alternates that are here as well, and the 12 jurors who returned the verdict under Idaho Code 192515, subsection 5B. The court is using the same jury to conduct this phase of sentencing also. And that statute reads that if the defendant's guilt was determined by a jury verdict, the same jury shall hear the special sentencing proceeding. So we are in that special sentencing proceeding. As I mentioned, the jurors are here and present. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for continuing your jury service. You've again been seated for your continued service in this case. And that's the matter we're taking up at this time. To give you an idea of just the schedule, the court has some preliminary instructions that are going to be read to you this afternoon. we're going to commence then with further evidence on the sentencing phase starting tomorrow morning after I read these preliminary instructions. And the court's proposal on our typical scheduled plan would be to start at 8:30. Is the state going to be ready to proceed at 8:30 with any impact statements that may be offered?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's how we'll run the scheduling at this point then, and I'll inquire as to the jurors going forward. Also, the scheduling we'll have during this phase of the proceedings. They don't need to be limited to the timeframes we've had throughout the trial, including, depending on how long this takes, weekends. So I am essentially leaving up to the jurors their proposed schedule within reason of when we'll work through this proceeding. So the court is going to read some preliminary instructions then to the jurors. And again, you'll receive additional jurors when you retire to deliberate on this part of the case. But for now, the court will just read these and those will be included with you later. So in this case, the defendant in this case has been convicted now of the crimes of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. We will now have a sentencing phase of the trial regarding those offenses. Additional evidence may be presented during the sentencing phase. You should also consider the evidence presented during the trial. Before the death penalty can be considered, the state must prove at least one statutory aggravating circumstance beyond a reasonable doubt. If you unanimously decide that the state has so proven one or more statutory aggravating circumstances, then you must decide whether the imposition of the death penalty would be unjust by weighing all mitigating circumstances against each proven statutory aggravating circumstance. At a separate proceeding, the court will sentence the defendant for other offenses of which you have found the defendant guilty. Instruction number 2. Your duties are to determine the facts, to apply the law set forth in my instruction to those facts, and in this way to decide the case. In so doing, you must follow my instructions regardless of your own opinion of what the law is or should be, or what either side may state the law to be. You must consider them as a whole, not picking out one and disregarding others. The order in which the instructions are given has no significance as to their relative importance. The law requires that your decision be made solely upon the evidence before you. Faithful performance by you of these duties is vital to the administration of justice. In determining the facts, you may consider only the evidence admitted during this trial and during the sentencing phase. The production of evidence in court is governed by rules of law. At times during the sentencing phase, an objection may be made to questions asked a witness or to a witness's answer or to an exhibit. This simply means I'm being asked to decide a particular rule of law. Arguments on the admissibility of evidence are designed to aid the court and not to be considered by you nor affect your deliberations. If I sustain an objection to a question or to an exhibit, the witness may not answer the question or the exhibit may not be considered. Do not attempt to guess what the answer might have been or what the exhibit might have shown. Similarly, if I tell you not to consider a particular statement or exhibit, you should put it out of your mind and not refer to it or rely on it in your later deliberations. During the sentencing phase, I may have to talk with the parties about the rules of law, which should apply in the case. Sometimes that will occur at the bench. Other times you may be excused from the courtroom so that we can discuss those matters. You are not to speculate about any such discussions. They are necessary from time to time and help the sentencing phase run more smoothly. Some of you have probably heard the terms circumstantial evidence, direct evidence, and hearsay evidence. Do not be concerned with those terms. You are to consider all the evidence admitted during the trial and during the sentencing phase. However, the law does not require you to believe all the evidence. As the sole judges of the facts, you must determine what evidence you believe and what weight you attach to it. If any evidence is admitted for a limited purpose, you are not to consider it for any other purpose. There is no magical formula by which one may evaluate testimony. You bring with you to this courtroom all the experience and background of your lives. In your everyday affairs, you determine for yourselves whom you believe, what you believe, and how much weight you attach to what you are told. The same considerations that you use in your everyday dealings in making these decisions are the considerations which you should apply in your deliberations. In deciding what you believe, do not make your decision simply because more witnesses may have testified one way than the other. Your role is to think about the testimony of each witness you hear and decide how much you believe of what the witness had to say. A witness who has special knowledge in a particular matter may give an opinion on that matter. In determining the weight to give such opinion, you should consider the qualifications and credibility of the witnesses and the reasons given for the opinion. You are not bound by such opinion. Give it the weight, if any, to which you deem it entitled. Instruction number 3. It is presumed that no statutory aggravating circumstance exists in this case. This presumption remains throughout the sentencing phase and during your deliberations. The state has the burden of proving the existence of a statutory aggravating circumstance, and that burden remains on the state throughout the sentencing phase. The defendant is not required to prove the absence of any aggravating circumstance, nor is the defendant required to produce any evidence at all. The state must prove the existence of a statutory aggravating circumstance beyond a reasonable doubt. A reasonable doubt is not a mere possible or imaginary doubt. It is a doubt based on reason and common sense. It may arise from a careful and impartial consideration of all the evidence or from lack of evidence. If after considering all the evidence you have a reasonable doubt about the defendant's guilt, you must find the defendant not guilty. That in this time then concludes the initial preliminary instructions for the sentencing phase. And the court is going to be in recess then until 8:30 in the morning, when we'll commence with evidence on that phase of the trial. Before we break for the day, does the state have anything further?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further from the defense?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll note that the jurors will remain sequestered during these proceedings, and we'll begin again tomorrow at 8:30. Thank you again for your continued service, and that will conclude our matter for today. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. So it sounds like we'll be back at 8:30 tomorrow. What is Chad doing? Okay. So now let me just see something. Because some of it is, territory that is not familiar. Do you think he's gonna, what do you think? Signing his name for prior to sell? No, Chad, I think you should sign this. So 8:30, okay, here. It's going to be 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. So if you need to do the time converter, there is, I'll give you, then you can figure that out. So now we have tomorrow at 8:30. Signing for his house to be sold. Maybe. There you go, 3:30 UK time. 10:30 Eastern. 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray for justice. Hip hip hooray for justice. I like that. Oh, that's good. I'm going to borrow that. So we are going to reconvene tomorrow and we'll see what happens there. I'm a little bit, I'm binging. I'm binging in the dark. What's going on? Could I use the portal potty before I go back to my cell? I really, really need to go there. Thanks, Shiloh. Thank you. And Dean, I saw gifted memberships. Thank you. Could I go use the portal potty? I just need a quick couple minutes. Put out the storm. Okay. So now what? Pickles says, not many live stream make me roar. This one does. Super people. Everybody's so awesome in here. We've had some good laughs in 8 weeks. We have had a lot of laughs. I can't believe we've been doing this every day for 8 weeks. I'll do as long as they're doing court, I'm showing up. I planned until mid-June. So as long as there's court, I'll be here. I'm just a little bit in, uncharted territory about this. I've only covered 2 trials before, I think. And this was the 3rd one, so thank you. Shout out to me. That's nice. Thank you. So I don't know what's going to be happening. I just read that. I deserve a vacation. Where did I read that? Karen says, you deserve a vacation. I hope you get one this summer. I am booking a couple days in British Columbia in July. So far, it's a solo trip. But I am taking a couple days to myself for sure. And then what I do, I encourage you guys to do this too, is write a little summer bucket list of things you'd like to do so that by the end of summer, you look back and go, so glad I did that. It could be something minor, something major, but I do that with my kids too. Not so much my oldest one, he's working all summer, but I do that with my little one saying, okay, what would you like to do this summer? We got to make sure to do that. And then I'll be booking that in. He's going to be off school next month at the end of the month. So I will take a few days off in July. And then I don't know what's going to happen with Lori's, if it's going to get pushed back or not. If not, I'm doing every day in August with Lori. No solo trips. Well, I have friends where I'm going, so you guys can all come. Maybe I'll go book an Airbnb. We can all stay. All 33,000 of us. Linda, you've been phenomenal throughout this whole thing. Thank you so much for your informative but passionate coverage of such a sensitive topic. Thank you. Thank you guys for being so awesome. I'm pretty lucky to have you guys. I haven't ever seen such a great community as this one. And I really, truly mean that. Dust Radio says, I love BC. My ex-wife was from there. Yes, I grew up in BC, so I'm a BC girl at heart, stuck in Alberta. Linda, I'm only able to watch after my work, and you make it make so much sense. You're welcome. Going to see a Luke Bryan concert. That's fun. I would love to go to Hawaii. Maybe that's how I should start booking vacations from now on. Just put a community tab. Thinking about going to Italy. Anybody from Italy? Thinking about going to Malta. Thinking about going to Greece. Thinking about going to California. Party with Linda. Yeah, why don't we do that? We'll just go choose a place. We'll rent a big place with a pool. And we could have a Lori pool party. I celebrate. Yes, what a day. That was a roller coaster today. Bittersweet moment, but justice was served. Great coverage of both trials. I have watched you every day. The whole thing has been so surreal. I'm still trying to process. I know. I think we still, I mean, obviously, we still have a bit more to go in this trial, so to speak, the end of the trial. And we get to hear victim impact statements. Bring your Kleenex on that one. And then we will hear what he's sentenced, what his sentence is, and if he gets the death penalty or not, and what happens. And we'll figure it out. Sentencing did not happen. So it started the phase, but he wasn't sentenced. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Well, I guess one thing at a time right now. Everyone get your Lori sunglasses. Wouldn't that be fun to have a big party together? No ukuleles allowed because of Chad. Oh, that would be awesome sauce. 4 seasons for 20 years. That would be awesome. American dollars to Canadian dollars a little bit, you know? So that would be great. And I love the name. Miss Sassy Ass. Victim impact statements to go too. We have all of it. Yeah, ma'am. We gotta go. We should just do a bunch of parties. Wait. Well, first of all, I gotta show you. Do I still have this? I gotta bring it up. My other picture when I did it outside with Lori. Do I have that in here? Maybe not. Not my neighbor. Lori's so sad that Chad's not going to be your neighbor. I'm sorry, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. Sorry. Amelia, Linda, thank you for all your hard work and amazing work. I had to watch the trial after I was almost on the jury back in March, and I don't think I would have understood it as well without you being here to walk me through it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad I can explain it. Some days I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I'm glad we can all do this together. Because sometimes I just don't know the answers, but I do my best to reiterate it to you guys of what's going on. So I'm glad you guys receive it well. And it makes sense. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know I'm not at CrimeCon. Maybe next time. I'm so glad. It's a crime tour. I think so. Let's get the bus. Get the bus out. Let's go. I'll pick you guys up along the way. I'll make sure you guys eat. Did you eat? You need anything? You need any food? That's the Italian in me. You okay? Are you hungry? You want any food? Your laugh when I listened to 2 times is absolutely hilarious. I probably sound like a chipmunk. Hey, found the chipmunk, Bear. And the raccoon, the chipmunk, the turkey. Yeah, I'll pick you guys all up. Let's go. My kid is like 46 pounds. He was 38 pounds since he was 18 months old. He's 46 now, and he's 9.5. And I just keep saying, like, legit, you need to eat in order to grow. He's just super skinny. Ava says, I know we're all happy about getting justice, but it's still daunting when you think about how many lives have been affected. 100%. I talk about that a lot. The repercussions of people who didn't even know, um, didn't know the family or, the victims. And then they get having to work on the case. And even everyone around the world, we're all crying for these guys. And it's a ripple effect. And I wish that was also taken. I know it can't be, but I wish that was taken into account of what these guys have done, like the Letitias and the Loris and Chad Daybell, and what the effect is on every single person that's directly investigating or attending or any of that. That should be taken into consideration as well. How many people do you think was killed before they were caught? I think this isn't Chad's first rodeo. I think it's gone on before. Wow, this is amazing. I've had a lot of Hawaii offers and a Mexico offer. I think we should start pre-booking these throughout the year. I haven't been on a vacation in 1.5 years. And I think before that was quite some time before. So I think it's coming. Exactly. The cops, detectives, the lawyers, the jury members, just like the Watts case, look how that affected them after the second interview. Everybody, you know? And there's a press conference. I think there's a press conference. Hang on. Hang on. Um what am I looking for? Sorry, guys, just a minute. I can't see your chatting. I'm just looking up. It's going to be a press conference, so hang out on. Let's see if I can pull this in. Okay, there's going to be a press conference. So that's great. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to see if I can mute the audio so that you can hear the waterfall. Can you hear that? Siobhan. You guys are already eyeing up Detective Hermosillo. That is beautiful, hey? I don't remember the waterfall. Okay. Now, if I do that, can you guys still hear that? Can you still hear the waterfall? I think I muted the screen audio so you don't hear that part. So I just need to, otherwise that's all I'm going to hear as well. So I'm just muting that. And then we can hang out for a bit. You guys like it? Well, I thought it was all just stairs. I don't remember the waterfall either, but maybe they just never showed it. Or when they did it, maybe it was before the summer. Yes, we are behaving. His wife was with him. We do respect Ray Hermosillo's wife. And we give kudos to her for her choice. MB says, my girl is 16 and 90 pounds. I was 90 pounds up until I had my first baby. I'm only 5 feet, but now I'm more than 90 pounds. Okay, so let's see what else he says. I wonder if Lindsay's going to be speaking. I remember in Gannon Stokes' case when Michael Allen was speaking, and it was awesome. I am. I'm only 5 feet tall. Probably soon it'll be shorter as I shrink. The blueprint jail call. Okay, blueprint. Oh yeah, the coded call. I still got to dive into. Bite size. When I go to the grocery store and I need to get something, it's always on the top shelf, right? So I go there and I just look at somebody and I see if there's somebody tall, and they go, "Excuse me, could I please borrow your height?" And then they just kind of laugh, like it's always on the top shelf. Oh, what's for dinner for Chad tonight? Let's see. Do I have it? I think I have it somewhere. What is Chad gonna eat? Oh, there's Larry. Hang on.
One year later, 1 year, a guilty verdict. It's not over. We're able to breathe. It's a sad day. JJ would have been 12 years old, guys. For what? For what? What has been accomplished by the murder of Charles? A good man, a wonderful man, a great father. Tylee, a young lady that had everything in her life ahead of her. She was beautiful, witty, amazing, intelligent. My little man, Canaan, Todd Trahan, Joshua Jackson Vallow, a 7-year-old autistic child. For what? What did they accomplish? Nothing. What did they do? They destroyed families. Tammy. What did they do? They destroyed a mind that was developing minds, the wonderful minds of children. She loved what she was doing. It's obviously she loved her family. For what? And I'm not going to even put up the 3 words that the prosecution put on the screen because it's an insult to all of them. I don't even want to say them. But what Chad and Lori can't take from us is our memories. They can't take that. They can't destroy it. They can't erase it. Our memories are what we have. That's what we have left, our memories. Our pictures will fade somewhat. Our memories will fade a little bit. But I think through it all, we will all retain the wonderful memories of what we had and what we lost. I'm happy it's over. And it's 99.9% over. There's one stage left. And I will say this, whatever verdict, whatever sentence the court and the jurors decide on, I will absolutely live with it. I want to thank the jurors. I hope they get help if they need it. They've heard and they've seen things that they can't unhear and they can't unsee. I've seen the photographs. I had to put my hands on JJ in those photographs. I put my hands on Tammy's arms in those photographs. Those photographs and those bruises were made by these. It was not books. It was not falling down. I seen them. I studied them. Tammy, I hope you're teaching kindergarten. I hope you're providing wonderful books to the children. JJ, you're 12 years old. JJ, Papa loves you. JJ, I miss you. But JJ, I will see you one day. Tylee, I hope you have grown to be a beautiful woman. I hope you get and you make everything you wanted to be of yourself. The Lord is with y'all. He is protecting y'all. Judge Boyce, I can't imagine a finer judge to be before in this case than Judge Boyce. I don't think there's one appealable speck of evidence. Prosecution done a mighty job. One piece at a time. They laid the foundation. They spoke well. They spoke clearly. Thank y'all. Mr. Pryor, I want to thank you. I thought you did an admirable job. You had a job to do. I told you years ago, I wanted you to do the best you could. I told all the defense attorneys, do the best you can. That's all we ask. Do the best for your clients. One of the last things, I want to thank the media. The media has been amazing. No one in the media, almost no one in the media has been out of place. A couple that were a little bit out of place, they're not here. This is not what this is about. The media is here to produce a product that justifies everybody. The media has done an outstanding job. I want to thank every one of you. Lastly, the audience that has been here months, day in, day out, away from their home, some away from their children. They go home, and I hope every one of these gentlemen and ladies that have children, you go home, you hug your children. Take lots of photographs. If I had a do-over for the last 5 years, I'd have taken 1 million photographs. Nobody ever anticipates that we're going to lose somebody. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. We all know that. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. Hug who you want to hug. Tell who you want to tell you love them. Tell them that. Be honest. Just be truthful. And most of all, guys, let's just do the right things. If you see something that's not right, say something. Don't be afraid to speak up. Let's be kind to the people that surround us. Let's be loving to the people that love us. Thank y'all. And turn out the lights. The party's over. Questions? 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 I forgot to breathe. I did. I realized that I wasn't breathing. I had quit breathing. And I said to myself, you got to breathe. Our wonderful friend Lauren said, do your deep breathing exercise.
Seemed as if you were whispering something to yourself, maybe prayers and thanks.
I did. That's where I forgot to breathe. I was praying. I was praying for a just verdict, and we got it.
Larry, what did you think of Chad Daybell's lack of emotion, lack of reaction when he sat there stone faced?
I think it's Chad. I think it's how he deals with his issues. I feel sorry that he can't cry. I feel sorry for him that he can't show emotion. As y'all all know, there's not one person here in this wonderful crew of people that we have called family that I don't want a hug. I don't offer a hug. I don't offer a handshake. It's sad when you can't do that. For what? I think if he'd have learned to have done that, maybe none of this would have happened. Show emotion. Tell people you love them. Don't be afraid to not to. One of the last things I want to tell you, we would have never made this without each other. I want y'all to know this is the strongest lady on earth. One of these days she's going to cry. She hadn't done it in a long time. It's over with. We're going to go back home to Louisiana in the near future. We're going to take our time getting there because we need to stop and smell some roses for a while. We need a chance to look at this beautiful state, this beautiful country, the states that are in between here and Louisiana.
Are you going to celebrate tonight? You want dinner?
Are we?
I don't know. We haven't made decision yet.
Oh, okay. She's a boss. I just talk and show up. Yes, somewhere. Where do I know? When do I know? No. Like I said, Kate just says, "Hey, let's go here." I said, "Okay, let's go." There's some people that I'd like to call out. Lauren, you and Dr. John, I don't know what we'd have done without you. My little man Banks, he made my heart heal. I love him so much. I look out here and I'm amazed that y'all are willing to stand up out in the sun and let this old man talk and not say, "That's enough. Y'all shut up. Shut up, old man." But I thank every one of y'all. There's so many that I want to call out. So many friends we've made. They're not friends. Y'all aren't friends anymore. Y'all are our family. And if you ever come to South Louisiana, Shy, I'm going to feed you some crawfish and some etouffee. Thank y'all so much.
We're getting close-ups of of Nate. Oh, okay. Whew. Wow. Hey, guys. Oh, I don't know what to say. That was a lot. I cannot wait to hear Judge Boyce's admonishment of the monster. Can't wait for that too. Damn onions. Okay. I'm going to be saying okay for a while now. Oh, well, that was powerful. One second. Okay. Okay. That was amazing and sad. And one of the biggest things that he said was just, for what? For what? I think everybody needs extra hugs today. Yeah. Yeah, the press conference was low because you had the waterfall. I had everything turned up to the maximum. Yeah, hugs to everybody in here. Thank you. It's crazy when I first started and I thought to myself, how am I ever going to sift through all of this stuff and make it coherent? I'll be okay. Is it fair to say it was a fair verdict? Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. It just you know, as soon as I start getting into the feely stuff, I can't handle it. But I do. You know what I mean. You guys are gonna have to get the Kleenex ready because the victim impact statements are gonna be rough. Yeah. Another verdict we've gone together. Yeah. We have many more to go because we still have to get justice for Charles and Brandon. Yep, it's still going to be 144K plus. I'm not moving it until we got to get justice for Charles as well. Chad Tato, the murderous monster, new anthem, Monster Mash. That's a good one. The Monster Mash. Thank you. Thanks for the laugh. Good night, Ken. Thanks for joining. We won't stop. You know me. We have to go to the bitter end on these guys. And we got to get Barry Morphew from Suzanne Morphew case. Bear we have to get justice for him. For, you know what I mean? We need him to get nabbed. No, my son's not 46. Is that what it sounded like? No. I have two boys. Mine are 21 and 9. And my 21. That's how old Tylee would have been. 21. She'd be turning 22 in September. I'm Linda's a goddess with a portal. Well, that's an interesting point of view. Maybe after this you can get great rest. You can look into that one too. It's another heartbreaking case that needs attention. I will be looking into a lot of them. Linda, you did such a great job when you figured out how they were talking in code. That was quite a few years ago, wasn't it? I got a lot of flack for that. A lot. Siobhan. I can't even put that on the screen, but that's funny. I think I cried my makeup off. Well, we went into the first stage of justice, guilty on all counts. And now we'll see what the sentencing is, and I really can't wait to hear what the judge has to say. So tomorrow we'll be here at 8:30, and we'll start then. Oh, yeah. I love that you get flack for things you're right about. You want to know something interesting? Over the years, I'm starting to realize that some of the things that I put out when it's in the right direction, there's a lot of chitter chatter. Kind of like my Papa Roger theory, or I have another theory about Brian Koberger that I'd love to put out, but now I'm going to have time. So I'm just going to keep bringing them out, and you're going to see more shorts. YouTube shorts are coming out. So I'm trying to embrace some of the new things, but you know how, like, when you're younger and you have a grandparent or a parent and they don't know how to use the remote control and you have to teach them? I feel like I'm getting into that phase. Like, wait a minute, there's a new thing. How does that work? Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. Although my son did tell me when he told me I need to go get a boyfriend, is what he's let me know. He said, Mom, you need a boyfriend. And then I said, well, what am I going to put on my online profile? Because he's like, download an app. And I said, what would I put on there? And he's like, you should probably put some makeup on. Because, in the morning I have my hair in a ponytail, no makeup. He's like, you should probably comb your hair. Comb your hair. Okay, for sure. Okay, I'm going to comb my hair in pictures. What else? You might want to put a little makeup on. I know. I love it too. It's so weird when I'm not on here now. Yeah, Melanie needs to get it too. Put out your new stuff about Brian K because people think he's innocent, but he knows too much and has acted too weird. I saw that his alibi was he was looking at the moon and the stars, which is very interesting. I know. My son's just like, tell me what you really think. Then I asked him, should I put a booty shake? He's like, dear God, no, you're not putting a booty shake on your profile. I love doing theory videos. I'd love to do more. It just takes a lot of brain power to go and put things together and connect the dots, but I love doing it. The secret is if my channel gets a little bit bigger, then I can do bigger videos because then it'll be supported by the views, if that makes sense. So as it gets bigger, I can take more time in between and really make these videos better. Yeah, Larry and Kay are awesome. And Con is going to be pretty cool. Do I like conspiracy theories? Yes, some things I do. I do. In all kinds of different genres, I guess. I find it fascinating. Do you guys like it? Yeah, he was. He's like, oh, Mom, no, absolutely not. Well, I'm just asking. Thanks, Tim. I'm doing my best. I think we can always improve. So next time I cover a trial, I'd like to add some more elements to it. But you know, little by little. Will I cover Megan Boswell? Absolutely. Yep. I've done Megan Boswell. That case, I've done several videos, quite a few videos, and she's not going till 2025. So I will be doing that then. But absolutely, yep. I will see it to the end. I like to see the cases that I covered right to the end. It bothers me if not. I now, Lisa says, you now have me saying hello to Charles when he pops up in your photo frame. It's so weird. I come in the morning to go set up, and as soon as I get here, he's number one. And I say hi to him. I say hi to Gannon too. I say hi, little buddy. But when I walk in the morning and I set up my computer and I look over, as the first person is Charles. I swear the timing is uncanny. Oh no, you had engagement, so I had to go out and miss the verdict. Yeah, so good. Guilty on all counts, which is so good. And now we see what he's going to be dished up. Yeah, I heard that Nate's going to be at CrimeCon. Have I? Yes, I've done Heidi Broussard. And when everybody was picking on the boyfriend, I said no. I said, nope, not the boyfriend. Was the only one that didn't pick on him. Let's see. Heidi. She was the very first case. In fact, that was one of my very first videos. I did 15, it looks like. So I'll give you that link. So sentencing phase started today. They did some instructions. We're going to go back tomorrow. So at 8:30 a.m., I'm going to, after this, I will put I guess, do another link. So you should get the notification for that. So you can set up for tomorrow, 8:30, and meet me here. You know what? I say, Charles, Lori's an idiot. When I see him on the thing, Charles, Lori's an idiot. Because let me tell you, the dating pool is very interesting, let's just say. And, you know, I see Lori go from Charles to Chad. She's an idiot. It's funny when I put out the Heidi video, I didn't even know I was gonna do it. And I was watching the case and I thought, I'm just gonna turn it on and see what happens and talk about the case. And all of a sudden people were like, yep, subscribe. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? And then it got really fast, really, really fast. Well, maybe Charles in up in heaven can help direct me to a man in my life now. Birda boys are a special breed. They are. It's just really interesting when I was on a date. Like, how do you explain what I do for a living? It's a little bit interesting. Yeah. Hug everybody extra today. All right. I think after how many hours has it been? Oh, I guess we've only been on for 3, which is a record because usually it's up to 8. So we're gonna call it a day today. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna set up tomorrow's for 8:30, and then we can go from there. Dave says, Linda, when I first came to YouTube, you were one of the first channels of 17,000 I watched. Please never change a thing. You're truly amazing. Thank you for being you. Thank you, Linda. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're just really grateful. That's a good idea. Freelance journalist. It's not a bad idea, David. Not a bad idea. It's been a great day. Yeah, facts kind of woman. There you go. So take care of you guys. Make sure that you do a little bit of self-care today. Okay? Okay, a little bit of self-care, a little bit of love to the family, extra love. My boy's going to come home in 5 minutes, so I'm going to give him an extra hug and call my other son and tell him to come see his mom this weekend. So take care of you guys. I'm going to do the same. I love you all. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow. And we're going to watch Chad do the extra phase of going down in his portal potty. And we'll see what the judge says. Good night.